Hi, I am Dr. Srikanth, Senior Consultant Pediatrician, Yashoda Hospitals, Hyderabad. Today let's talk about complementary feeding, when to start and how to start. Complementary feeding is the feeding which is after you stop breastfeeding. So it is usually continued along with breastfeeding, and the WHO recommends that you start exclusive breastfeeding from birth up to the age of 6 months, and after that we start complementary feeding, that means weaning off from mother's milk, and this process ends at around 2 years from when you can feed the child from the family pot. So initially after 6 months of exclusive breastfeeding, there will be signs inside the baby that show that the child is ready for weaning off. So that includes any time between 4 to 6 months when the baby loses interest in mother's milk and the baby starts to show more interest in solid foods. So that includes trying to grab the food. When the child is showing initial stages of weaning, we should introduce solid foods, which includes initially a very soft and a bland diet, which can be and should be in a gruely consistency. That means it should be mashed and more water should be added so that the child can take the food and it is palatable. So initial weaning foods start off with a few foods which mainly include a rice-based preparation. And I just want to add one more thing, saying that wheat, especially wheat allergies, that is gluten allergy or celiac disease, is very common in Indian children. So doctors do not suggest weaning off with a wheat-based cereal. We can introduce wheat after 6 months of age. And initial weaning food should be always rice-based, and it can also be any mashed food which can be prepared at home, or there are ready-made preparations which are available anywhere in the pharmacy. So at 6 months of age, initially how to start off weaning is, we have to add around 2 spoons of each food and mix it nicely and give it to the baby. So let the baby feel the food, so he will develop interest in eating the food. Okay, so just put it in a bowl and put it in front of the child, and the child should be able to grab the food and put it into his mouth. And next, we normally start off with 2 scoops for the first 1 week, and then follow up with the increase in 2 scoops. That's a total of 4 scoops for the next 2 weeks, and then followed by 1 more feed over the next 6 months. After 7 months of age, we can now introduce fruits into the diet. The fruit usually should be something which is very soft and which is not very granular in consistency. The best fruit to start initially is a peeled off boiled apple puree, or you can also go for a kiwi puree. So after 7 months of age, you can introduce 1 more food into the diet, and that should also be a homemade preparation, which makes it from 8 to 12 months to a total of 2 to 3 feeds. This is how you wean off from the mother's milk. Thank you.